All right, got a Whirlpool washer station, and we have two screws back there. They're Phillips screws, and once they're out, push it forward, and we can flip this over. All right, so we're gonna put it in drain and spin, or just spin. All right, you hear that sound? Pull the body of the machine off, and we're gonna access the drain pump, which is down here in the front. And we're gonna open up the drain pump and see what's in it. That humming sound means that something is holding back the motor from turning. Take the front off, or the body. Let's unplug. And you're gonna have two clips. Let's get this body off. We now have access to the drain pump area. We have a humming sound, so we want to verify that we do have something caught in the pump or something on the motor, whatever it is. Could be a bad capacitor, but I know something was holding back the motor. So I'm giving a couple scenarios. The first scenario is you have something caught in the drain pump. Chances are you have a full tub of water. You would need to be able to use a radiator pliers. That's what that yellow is. I couldn't find my other one, have a metal one, and it squeezes a lot better. But this will still do the job. You might need to use a zip tie to increase the pressure. For the bottom one, which is the drain, you could use another pliers, or you can use a needle nose pliers. Squeeze it well, put a zip tie on, and it's going to keep the water from flowing from the drum into the drain pump area and making a mess. So what you want to do, you're going to get a pan or something small enough to fit under the drain pump. Yes, you will have some water, but you're not going to have a whole bunch. I'll be loosening those clamps. First, I'm actually putting on a zip tie to give me the extra tension that I need on the needle nose pliers. So once you loosen the clamps here, obviously I'm not going to take the clamps off because I had another area where I could drain the water, which was a lot faster. But if that was your situation, you would do that. Now, if you have a good connection, you will not have a lot of water. It's just going to be a little bit of water, and you'll be okay. Once you release the clamps and you wiggle, you should be able to get your drain pump off, and you will have a little bit of water. But before you do that, slowly pull the drain pump out to basically see how strong or how much water is going to be pouring out. Because if you start and, for example, you pull too fast and you get the whole pump off and the water is too much, then it's going to be very difficult for you to get it back in, and you're going to have a mess. So now we're going to be removing the motor, and we have two 1/4-inch screws, and you have two tabs, flat blade screwdriver, twist, and comes right off. You can push the motor up a little bit, and it helps with the top one to come off much easier. And we're going to pull the motor out. Be careful you don't crunch your finger. Now we're going to remove the motor, as you see, and we're going to check the motor. We're going to reattach. We already put our capacitor on, by the way, and we are verifying now that the motor is not restricted or nothing is holding the motor back. That's the capacitor. It's on the back of the washer on the inside. I do apologize, and I'm going to show you how to drain this actually. Now, you got to pay attention to the symptoms. Now, with a bad motor, you're going to basically hear a lot of humming a lot of smelling, but you want to mainly look for burnt. And I didn't see any burnt mark or anything on the terminals. You want to see if they're burnt. So the machine was humming, and I thought maybe something was caught in the pump. You will get the same identical symptoms if something is caught in the pump. Now this is your pump, and I will show you how you can check your pump to verify that the pump is free. Now, you can drain your pump with a drill. I will show you that. And you're going to take your drill and you're going to insert it where the motor shaft normally would go. So I'll show you that shortly, and you'll verify if you have something caught in the pump. If your pump is free, meaning you can turn the shaft and nothing is moving, everything is moving, then you know your restriction or your humming is not here. It's going to be moving here, but not just the motor. You have to keep in mind you do have a capacitor, and this is a start capacitor and gives a nice jolt to turn the motor on. So as you see previously, the motor did not want to turn. You put a capacitor on, which is located back here. Now when you turn the motor, it turns on nice and strong. I'll show you. We're on, and you'll see the shaft spinning nicely. So much power, but you saw it spinning nicely. So let's unplug, let's put this motor back in and get this machine back into service. And guys, you always go cheapest first. Never start replacing the most expensive parts. Capacitor can give you very, very similar symptoms. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do the pump. Now we have water in here, as you can see. Now, if you go backwards, you're not going to drain. So your pump pulls water down, shoves it down. All right. Counterclockwise. Left. All right. That takes care of the pump. Put the rubber piece on this side and then just wiggle in from this side. You want to line this up as much as possible, as close as you can. All right, so we're going to put the motor in now. I like to leave the top one off for last, put the bottom one in, and you can pretty much line this up, and you'll see it, how this part turns. Get it positioned so that it lines up almost identical, and then all you do is lift, and it should go straight on in. We're in, and you can slide the bottom. You basically lower it slightly, and the bottom clip will just grab on. Just lower your hand, and now you got to do the top one. All right, now you got your 2 1/4-inch screws. All right, so now you got your drain pump. Clip goes on, twist it, same thing up top. Now, you see how this one is rusty? You want to flip this up top. Apparently, either this machine had a slight leak or something, I don't know when. I didn't see any leaks or anything here. But normally, the one at the bottom, you would flip it and put it up top. So now it gets a break, and if there's any potential leaks, this one will still have some life left in it, and this one will as well. All right, so you're gonna have to turn your pump, reach under, and rotate. It's gonna be between the transmission and the motor. There you go. One more. Just watch your fingers. All right, that's done. Now you got your wire connector. You can leave this off. They get old and wet. All right, so this part of the repair is done. Now what we're gonna do is plug the machine back in just to verify that everything is functioning. We don't have anything that's binding, so the washer should spin, and whatever water's in there, you'll hear it draining. All right, let's power back up, and then we're gonna be changing the dogs as well. Has been bypassed, not by me, so regardless. All right, so we're gonna change the dogs, and then we're gonna put the body back on, and we should be done. All right, so you have what you call dog agits, and what they do when your machine is agitating. Oh, what is that? It's not good. All right, well, I don't know. He'll get washed. So when your machine is washing, the bottom portion is moving, but this is not. So in theory, your washer is washing at the bottom, but the top is not moving. So we're going to change the dogs, and I'll show you the difference. So if you can rotate in both directions, then they're bad. They should only rotate in one and not the other. So let's open her up. You're gonna have like a clip or whatever you can reach in, pull, or use a hook. Hopefully your rubber seal is still good. Usually they pop. There it is. And the nut, that nut looks good. That's a 7/16, and a lot of times they're totally rusted, and then you're gonna have problems. You'll have to use a bolt extractor. So this one looks good. So we're gonna remove that, and the dogs are gonna be right here on the top. You're gonna remove this top piece, and I'll show you how to do it. Now, you should probably order a new rubber gasket, and that will protect the bolts from future water. All right. I'm not sure about that roach. Okay, I'll get a napkin, see if I can grab him out. All right, so we got our 7/16 connected, and we're gonna be removing. Sometimes you can just pull the top piece. It depends. So you might have to pull the entire piece out. Oh, we got lucky. Now you're gonna flip this upside down. Try and catch all of them that are destroyed and broken. You might want to take this outside, wash it out, get all the sediments and all the broken dogs, get them out of the pathway of the teeth, so that when you put the new one back in, they have something to grip onto. In case your rubber comes off, push it back on like that. That's how it goes. You can also turn the washer on to do a quick rinse. All the hard pieces are out, so you can also just do that. Just put it on wash. Better. All right, you can do your fancy cleaning if that's what you want to do. I'm on a job, just want to make it look a little better for the customer. All right, these are the dogs. I'll leave a link. Try and use Whirlpool quality. They do last longer. This is what they go into. Screwdriver, adjust your finger, push this up, knock out the small pieces. Do a quick rinse. Now, slide this in, and I'll tell you a trick. There's not a magnetic bolt grabber, so what you're gonna have to do, set your bolt in here, set it upside down, or sideways for now, get this in here. And what you're going to do, you're going to make them, and you're going to get the bolt through the hole without it falling off. All right, so we're in. Now you're going to push this down slowly. You're going to work it. Now, I'll explain. You can let it go down on its own. You're going to rotate your hand, and you can let it fall into place. Don't force anything. Okay. And you should be able to turn it. Here we go. Tighten. Like I mentioned about this, you could probably rinse this off. And you'll have to get a new one. So just try and keep it as close as possible. If you want to keep it, you might be able to take it off, let it dry, wash it really well, and put a tab of glue right there. And that will keep it in place so that when you put it in, it doesn't come out. But right now, it's going to be iffy. So I'll let the customer know about it. There's not much you can do. Oh, it's in. That's good. All right. Now you have your cap. All right. She's done. Now we gotta put the body on. So we're putting on the body now. It's hard to show you because there's no angle. So you have that pin, and you do have one back there as well. Now, because of our lack of space, you have that pin there, and what you're going to be doing is basically sliding the body. The front of the machine will slit under here, and it will connect to that pin, and also one back there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Anyways, there's one back there, one in the front. So we gotta make sure that we can, there it is on that one. So yeah, this machine definitely was leaking. I don't see any leaks though. So maybe at one point it was leaking. So, all right, so we're gonna slide it in, and there's another pin. He's gone. Oh, no, he's right there. But he's pretty rotted, so we're gonna see if we can get him back up while we're here, and then so the body will at least be, you know, fully close to the machine. So all right. Old switch that was broken at one point. That base has to go under, and you can see it's not. So we might have to put something under the legs, and that's going to allow the base of the front to slide under so the rest of the machine can be fitted together. So the back legs are tilted. That's the issue. So we're good. Make sure this tube can be moved freely and it's not pinched between the body. If that is the case, you will have an overflow situation. So check everything. If your washer has a lid switch, you'd plug it in. This one does not. Two screws back there, and plug your machine in. Should be good to go. Do drain and spin. All right, guys, job is done. Two screws back there, and we're done. Thanks for watching.